Glaive just released his debut studio album, I Care So Much That I Don't Care At All. This has been a very highly anticipated album for me, as Glaive has been a favorite of mine for years now. The 13-track record focuses majorly on mental health and growth. We're going to dive into each and every single song on here and break them down, giving my input and all-around review of this album. Let's hop right into it with the first song.
I can't change anything, this trajectory.
The intro to this album is so heavy, it's literally a suicide note made into a song. Glaive shows so much emotion and pain throughout this track, with the first words saying the moment he turns 23, he'll kill himself using the gun his father gave him when he turns 17, and he asks to split the money he has made between his parents equally, telling them how he wants them to spend each half of it. He tells Rebecca, his mother, to buy a home down the street from Cypress Grove, of course the popular street in which he named his first EP. He tells Mark, who we can assume is his father, to get a car and that he will always be in his heart. He tells Chris to smile because he helped save Glaive's life for so long to this point. The chorus is Glaive saying he doesn't want to be here anymore, he's around people he barely knows and isn't happy in life at all. It's a very beautiful and heavy chorus with great vocal layering. This is a very passionate and real song that I do not think many artists would be able to pull off the way Glaive does here. He gets into questioning the future if he commits suicide, but quickly dismisses it, saying that it does not matter anyways. He begins screaming the lyrics and does a great job at doing so, wishing for his mother to not see him in the coffin because it isn't even her son anymore. He is lost and not Ash anymore. He finishes the verse with, "This song made me like ugly cry. Put up the cry meter because we're gonna need it for this entire record."
My friends are so progressive, they call me
As If was the first single released for this album. The song begins with a Timothée Chalamet quote from a play, expressing frustration and being too young to be heard essentially. The opening lines on the song are very harsh and to the point. Glaive feels he is forced to be friends with people he really shouldn't be friends with. Being alone is hard for him, therefore he takes the verbal and mental abuse just to have people around. The chorus is big. Glaive says it makes that very clear. Some beautiful instrumentation is heard before the start of the second verse, which really focuses on the grief of losing friends. Not just because you grow apart, but because of death actually. This is most likely in reference to Joel, a friend of Glaive's who sadly passed away. He has referenced Joel on other tracks in the past, like Natural off of his collab EP with Eric DOA, Then I'll Be Happy. The song ends with Glaive questioning if he'll ever be enough or if he will ever in fact change.
But what the fuck just happened?
17250 is a track that focuses on the heartbreak following a breakup, making you have the feeling of needing someone after being used to having someone for so long. He describes the pain of the breakup by using the term cauterized, meaning burning the flesh to stop bleeding or infection. He connects the breakup as the pain and cauterization to the feeling of waking up in somebody else's mattress. The second verse to this song has Glaive saying he's scared to let the blood out of his mouth because of the noise it'll make on the ground. Perhaps a callback to his 2020 song, Life is Pain. The song ends with him repeating the number 17250, which is the chemical cauterization of flesh.
Anymore, anytime, never mind. You're perfect.
Party Urgent Care is absolutely beautiful and one of my favorites on the entire album. I first heard this song when I attended his concert in October 2022, and hearing it finally in the world is so satisfying. The guitar is beautiful and the vocal performance is angelic. He says in the chorus that this person is perfect and never makes him feel bad, then telling him to kill himself with pills, Glaive admitting he deserves to be told that, perhaps messing up with this person and feeling regret because of it. He says to keep him in their waiting room as he is willing to wait for them as long as it takes. The second verse focuses on the confusion Glaive felt being told he's not enough as well as being told he's too much. You crossed the line, said you did it to toughen me up, possibly meaning he was done wrong by this person as an example to fix his own ways. The chorus to this song is one of the best on the album. It made me cry. So throw up that cry meter. This song ends with a beautiful guitar solo and it's just perfect. Oh boy, Glaive gets into some drama here. The Car is a song about Glaive being, naughty with a female friend. A female friend who is using him to cheat on her boyfriend. It's crazy, I know. Glaive has came out to say this song is about his friend and not actually something that happened to him personally, but he wrote the song from the perspective of the guy that the girl was cheating with. Nevertheless, it still slaps. The chorus is awesome and very catchy, talking about what they do in her boyfriend's car. I won't get into the specifics as I'm sure you can guess. In the verse, Glaive sings about his situation as just her finding herself. Glaive knows this is wrong of them and is very aware of the fact that her boyfriend has to be suspicious. He also focuses on the guilt he feels, claiming that her boyfriend is doing way more for her than he ever has, yet she is still cheating on him. Glaive shows major frustration on the back half of the second verse when she tells him she wants him back. He questions what he or what they even were, finishing the verse by saying, I Care So Much That I Don't Care At All is the interlude to this album, focusing on his mental health and growth. Much different from the opening track of the album being about his suicide note, this focuses on him being happy he never did it. Things got better with time and he makes us know that. He makes sure the intro, interlude, and outro all focus on similar subjects but showing he's grown throughout it all. He repeats the title, I Care So Much That I Don't Care At All, and it is absolutely beautiful. It makes your soul leave your body. Glaive really looks back on a lot in the song, reflecting and growing. Recently becoming an adult, he had to take on the major responsibilities it brings. The first verse focuses on being old enough to pay taxes and be involved with politics, but not being old enough to drink wine. Yeah, you can also get drafted to the war now, Glaive, but a little liquid courage? No sir. Being an adult and having success has led Glaive to feeling trapped, having no time to be free. He's too busy to be anything else. The chorus talks about not feeling real, a feeling often described as being numb, usually caused from a form of depression. He repeats that all he does is try his best. The second verse has some very real-life topics, as does the entire album, but this just speaks to my soul. He has realized that too much of anything is never good, whether it's fame, praise, or even money. You tend to grow apart from things when they are a constant in your life. Maybe that's why I'm single. Anyways, he says before the chorus repeats, to watch your words, they might make you famous, which is super true, especially in this generation. I mean, look at this.
Catch me outside, how about that?
As you walked away from me,
I'm Nothing, That's All I Am is a bit of an easier song to talk about. It's super catchy and enjoyable to listen to. It focuses on Glaive having issues with some form of partner, claiming he says he's fine but turns out it was a lie, counting every stride as this person walks away from him as if it's the last time he'll see them. The verse and pre-chorus talk about him being stuck in his own head and drinking too much, a pretty common theme on this album. There's not a ton that goes into the song, it's just one of the bangers he has on here.
one day I'll be the king of something. One day I'll be the queen of something.
The Prom has Glaive speaking on him missing high school and a lot of the key memories you make in those years. He took his music career far more serious than school. He opens the song by saying how he began to cut his friends off as they stopped checking in on him, eventually losing contact with them all, which resulted in his mental health to suffer. The chorus on this song is one of my least favorite. Although still being a good song, the verses really stand out to me as opposed to the chorus. He references the entire prom theme in the second verse, saying one day he will be the king and queen of something, but right now he is the king and queen of nothing. He says he is embarrassed and stays in his parents' house as he is very anxious and struggles with his own self-worth. He fears not being enough for people on many tracks, and once again here. The construction of the songs on this album are actually really impressive, and I feel like this is going to be one of the songs that grows on me more and more over time, as it already has with just a few listens. Tiziano, or at least that's how I think you say this name, is a song about a girl. Whether this is another Astrid scenario and this is a fictional name about a girl or not, it is indeed about a girl. Who was named Tiziana though, for real? Glaive was struggling and questioned if he should have asked for help, not knowing if she would even care about his problems. He claims that they fell in love, but even that wasn't enough for the amount of time she let him down, referencing the time she called him screaming, and back to drinking again. Glaive claims he knows he should feel bad for her, but doesn't because he knows none of this is his fault. The chorus gets more and more powerful with each time it plays. I can't get over the passion and realness in Glaive's voice throughout this whole record.
Of course you'll do some things you wish you'd never take.
This song is one of the biggest bangers on the entire track list. Glaive says he has to go help and support people, wishing that he could stay wherever it is he is at. He mentions that this person is finally going to therapy before the chorus absolutely smacks you, speaking on the regret of dating someone you shouldn't have, and saying, quote somebody in the second verse saying they hope that he saves himself because everybody is dying these days. I love the bridge to the song, saying you get a couple of tattoos and people you trust take advantage of you. He says it's okay, which is something you always say in those situations. He finishes the song by speaking to his exes and former friends, wishing they could see him now and how far he has come in life. This song is crazy and starts with super heavy rock type drums before quieting down as he sings about being a grown up now and not the little boy they used to know. The chorus brings those rocker drums back and is one of the most unique choruses on the entire album. He does not feel like he is enough or like anyone cares about him and his problems. He thinks everyone is fine without him in their life. A good example of this are the many friends he lost contact with after they stopped checking in on him. Glaive says this is his last hoorah, which is a battle cry, claiming that this is the last action before taking his own life, as he then says he will take the gun and do what he should have done, as mentioned in the intro track. The verse has Glaive talk about walking home angry and receiving a phone call from somebody, today of all days. He closes the song saying he's near apologetic but far from empathetic and that he has nothing left to lose. The 2005 Barbie doll is seriously life-changing. Outro tracks are always such a major part of an album for my listening experience, and this nailed it. An unsettling sound plays before a beautiful guitar comes in and Glaive sings about how hard it is knowing people only care to keep him around for the money he is making. As Glaive has mentioned the loss of friends throughout the entirety of the album, he ends with the conclusion that they most likely don't reach out anymore because he is living a life they can only dream of. The song proceeds to go into this gorgeous, magical sounding guitar as he says he is unimpressed with everything and afraid to show that he isn't confident in himself. An absolutely heavenly angel choir of Glaives start to sing to close out the song, claiming they know how it goes about a young man who stays up too much, is now on a tour bus traveling and being a star, but in the end he will get to go home. The song ends with Glaive and his mother talking and joking around, and this song hit me like a truck. It is so gorgeous, powerful, and by the end of this record you have a definite emotional punch. He nailed this album. I am extremely biased in saying this as Glaive is in my top 2 artists, but this has been my favorite experience listening to an album this year. Just the emotion, the writing, the song construction was top tier, and I couldn't find a way to be any happier with this album. If you haven't checked it out yourself for some reason, stop what you're doing and check it out. It is phenomenal. Glaive has came through, and this is an album I think a lot of people need in their lives. I am genuinely so proud of Glaive for stepping up and having the courage to drop something so real and personal. So yeah, that's my Glaive, I care so much that I don't care at all, album breakdown and review. It's perfect, it's amazing, it's a 10 for me. If you liked the video, please leave a like on it. Comment what you thought of this album down below, comment your favorite tracks. Later in the week, I'll have a ranking of every song on this album from worst to best, although that might be extremely difficult and nearly impossible as every song made me just about cry. And yeah, that's gonna do it. Please hit that sub button if you haven't yet. I'll be back with more videos. Thank you so much. Peace.